Welcome to the Fear and Greed Afternoon Report for Tuesday, the 13th of September 2022. I'm Sean Aylmer. Every afternoon, we've got the 5 stories that happened today that you need to know about. Let's jump into it. Story number 1, the S&P ASX 200 closed up 0.65% today, back above 7,000 points to 7,010 points to be precise. Commonwealth Bank led the way. It rose 1.7%. Wesfarmers jumped 1.4% and Telstra ended more than 1% higher. Goodman Group was a standout, up 2.6%. Among the large caps, BHP, Fortescue and CSL all went backwards. Energy companies were among the best today, with Ampol up 2.3% and Santos 1.6% higher. That pretty much reflects higher oil prices. Best on the day, though, was gold digger Chalice Mining, up nearly 10%. Worst was Link Administration after yet another twist in its takeover plot. The takeover of Link Group by Canadian company Dye & Durham has been stymied by Britain's financial regulator. The UK regulator gave the go-ahead to the $2.5 billion buyout, but only if the takeover target set aside £306 million, that's about 520 million Aussie dollars, to cover potential fines. Now that sent Link's share price down 20%. And just before we leave markets, the Reserve Bank has waived confidentiality rules to allow current and former staff to provide their views on the central bank to an independent review. Story number 2, Star Entertainment has been found unfit to hold a casino licence in New South Wales, and the state regulator has handed the group a show cause notice to explain why it shouldn't take disciplinary action. The final report of the Bell inquiry was highly critical of the Star, saying widespread misconduct had occurred in a decade leading up to this year. During the 4-month review, it emerged that the Star hid money from the regulator, operated a secret gambling room, breached anti-money laundering measures, allegedly misled banks and may have evaded taxes, and facilitated $900 million of banned gambling transactions. There's a lot in that. New South Wales Independent Casino Commission Chief Commissioner Philip Crawford said the watchdog was considering what action to take against Star, such as tearing up its licence, and hit out at the group for institutional arrogance. Story number 3, this year's biggest takeover, private equity's bid for hospital group Ramsay Health Care, has collapsed, apparently over price. The near $30 billion takeover by a consortium led by private equity giant KKR is off, after it said it wouldn't bid more than $88 a share and it wouldn't offer all cash. That sent Ramsay's share price down 13%. Now, the deal has been in the works for more than a year, but in the end, it came down to price. The consortium just didn't want to pay anymore. Story number 4, AGL Energy has been forced to extend its shutdown of a unit at its Loy Yang A coal power station. The electricity supplier, whose biggest shareholder is billionaire Mike Cannon-Brookes, said earnings shouldn't be hit because demand for its other generation units is high. AGL had hoped to restart the unit in the next fortnight, but the group is still waiting on a part from manufacturer GE, which apparently is being made in Switzerland. The unit broke in the middle of April, hit AGL's earnings, and contributed to the squeeze in power supply in the national electricity market in early winter, which triggered price caps and the eventual suspension of the wholesale market. Things aren't quite as grim now. Still, I'm sure AGL Energy will want to get the unit up and running again. And story number 5, a rocket launched by Jeff Bezos' Blue Origin group burst into flames shortly after launch this morning. The uncrewed rocket took off from West Texas and was carrying experimental items to be tested in a weightless environment, but it became engulfed in flames just 1 minute into the launch. The capsule on top of the rocket, which contained the payload and would be the area where humans sat, detached and parachuted to the ground. It's the first major incident for Mr. Bezos' space exploration group since opening up the service to the public. That's it for the afternoon report for Tuesday, the 13th of September, 2022. Michael Thompson and I will be back tomorrow morning for the Wednesday edition of Fear and Greed. I'm Sean Aylmer. Enjoy your evening.